Hi, I'm Craig Milkowski taking a look at the $100,000 Hutcheson Stakes at Gulfstream Park on Saturday. It will be run as race three, and it drew a field of seven. Let's take a look at that field and the morning line odds. And we'll see we have a pretty prohibitive favorite in Valian Force in here. I think it's a little more open race than those morning line odds would indicate, as Valiant Force has never been on the dirt before, so this will be something new for him. And he's also going to have to deal with the pace scenario. So let's move to the pace projector and take a look at how that's shaping up. And though there is no flag on the pace projector, we do see the horse with a clear lead, the number 3 Beine, who was the second choice on that morning line, figures to get a clear lead. There's just not a ton of speed in here. And as I mentioned, the favorite is one who likes to come from off the pace, at least has in his turf races. So without further ado, let's move through the field in post position order for this one. And we're going to start with Patriot Spirit, the one horse, taking a look at his run in the inaugural stakes, which is two back in his PPs. And we'll get to why we went two back in just a second. But Patriot Spirit went basically wire to wire in this race. Good, solid effort from him. He's a horse who has done best sprinting in his day. He comes out of the much tougher Sam Davis Stakes around 2 turns. So there wasn't a whole lot of point in showing that race. Wanted to show the more recent one. And as we see his PPs here, he just really had no shot last time, even though he was 7-1. He's a horse who has proven to do his best running sprinting. We can see the couple times he's tried the mile or longer distance, it hasn't fared well. So he draws the inside, not a great post. His running style's a little tricky, probably more of a pace presser than anything, but one who could make a dent late. Let's now take a look at Improbable, who will be shown winning an allowance race at Gulfstream back in late February. Improbable's another, has very similar speed figures to the horse we just looked at, Patriot Spirit. Not the strongest race we're going to see compared to what some others have come out of. Ran a 94 time form US speed figure for this one. This is a race that has a 102 time form US race rating. Nothing really bad to say about this one, but he's taken a big step up in class. He has been improving his speed figures. Even that allowance race last time was a Florida bred. We see he was running in some maiden claimers. So this one's going to need to take a jump forward, but he is at least moving in the right direction. As we move on to the next replay, let's take a look at Beine, a very impressive winner of a maiden special weight at Gulfstream back in early February. You don't see it as we pick up in the stretch, but this horse faced some real pressure early in the race. He was battling all the way through the race and just really pulled away late, was able to get the job done. And not only did he get the job done, it was with a very nice time form US speed figure, as we're going to see in his PPs here. He ran a 109, which is the best that we've seen from anybody in this race. On top of that, the 2, 3, 4 finishers from his race haven't run back yet, but the horses that finished 5th, 6th, and 9th have all come back to win their next starts, 2 of them in maiden special weight races, and they've all improved their speed figure by at least 10 points, one as many as 20. So that could be a very live race that Beine is coming out of. Let's now take a look at the Limehouse Stakes, which was won by Ship to Shore last out in wire-to-wire fashion at Gulfstream Park. This is a race that looks really impressive when you watch it. There's a lot of extenuating circumstances to this race, though. Ship to Shore, this wound up being just a 4-horse field. He wound up getting everything his own way. He did what he was asked to do. He ran a 100 time form US speed figure, but it was a really bizarre race in that 2 horses, and they're 2 horses who are actually in this field that we're going to move on to talk about in that favorite Valian Force and Sir Flash, were scratched very late, acting up at the gate or in the post parade, and just it wound up only a 4-horse field. So I think Ship to Shore probably isn't quite as good as that last race looks. Things are going to be a little bit tougher in this spot 4 than they were on that day. The next horse we're going to take a look at is Starship Mocha. He had an impressive win, but as you can see, it's only an 82 time form US speed figure. It comes in a maiden claiming race. I mean, I could have shown the replay and he would have romped, obviously, as he won by 9 lengths. He is first time in the barn by Jose D'Angelo, who does great off a claim, but this is just a really big step up in class, and he would have to improve a good 15, 20 points to contend here. Next, we're going to take a look at Valian Force, that race favorite that I was talking about early, 7-5 on the morning line. This horse has had a very impressive career so far on turf. He came over to the States for the Breeders' Cup and ran very well. I mean, he was a narrowly beaten second, only beaten a half length that day. And as I mentioned, he was entered in that stakes race that Ship to Shore came out of, the Limehouse Stakes, and something happened late. He was scratched. So they've been trying to get this horse on dirt. They ran him back later on, about a month later on the turf. He was the runner-up as the 3-5 favorite that day. Still ran pretty well. What I think is interesting about Valian Force is, like I said, they were trying to get him on dirt. Since that last race, he's worked out 3 times on dirt. And it's not just that he's worked out. He's worked out at distances where lots of horses are working out. He's been the fastest every single time, facing workout numbers of 106, 52, and 82. So this horse is working great on dirt. I know it's easy to want to take a stand against him because he's never tried it before, but all signs point to he's going to handle it pretty well. My big question with him is the pace and just how much is there going to be for him to close into. One final horse we want to take a look at is Sir Flash. He's going to be shown winning an allowance race at Tampa Bay. This one occurred in mid-February. And he was the other horse who was scratched prior to the start of that Limestone Stake or Limehouse Stakes. Very good effort at Tampa. We can see he ran a 99 speed figure that day. He was just able to hold on for the win, but never really in danger. And that was a good, strong field. He went off, even though he scratched out of the stake, you can see he went off 5-1. And when you look through that race, there were some horses with real credentials in here. So he's definitely a contender, draws a good outside post, and I think he's going to run well. That said, let's take a look at my selection, and that's going to be the 3-horse Beine. He's 5-2 on the morning line, comes out of that very strong race that I noted, that maiden race where 3 horses have already come back to win, has the best speed figure in the field, and I see no reason he can't repeat that second time out. I don't want to totally dismiss the morning line favorite in here, Valian Force. It does look like he's set to run a big one on dirt, but I'm not sure you want to take too short of a price. So I went with number 3 Beine here in the Hutcheson Stakes.